Today, jump that. That's a nigga.
All right, Jake, I'm filming.
So guys, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident.
What happens when hype, ego, and true power crash together? This is not just a typical boxing story. Jake Paul, one of the most controversial names in sports, is now in a hospital bed after being floored by a single punch from Gervonta Tank Davis. With Jake finally speaking out from inside the hospital, everyone is asking the same question. What really happened, and what does this mean for his career ahead? Let's break it down. The story starts at what was meant to be a simple promotional event. Jake Paul, as always, had the cameras on him, talking to reporters, building up his next plans, and putting on the act that has kept him in the boxing spotlight. But then the mood changed. Gervonta Davis walked in. Suddenly, it was no longer about hype. It was about pride.
Since you lost, what's up, Jake? Where you going, Jake? Oh, he's running! He's running! Look at him!
The rivalry between Jake and Tank has been brewing for years. Jake often mocked Tank in public, labeling him overrated, undersized, and shielded by promoters. Tank fired back in his own style, brushing Jake off as just a YouTuber pretending to be a fighter. Neither of them ever stepped back, and when they finally came face to face, all that built-up hostility came pouring out.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if someone, if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough
Yeah,
for
would you ever
to
do a
take...
fight like that?
I feel as though in my career I can't do that right.
Witnesses say Jake moved in close to Tank with a smirk, whispering something that clearly hit a nerve. Some believe he mentioned Tank's legal issues, while others claim it was a shot at Floyd Mayweather, a figure Tank is strongly tied to.
Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood.
Whatever was spoken, Tank's face shifted in an instant, and then it happened. One clean punch. Sharp, accurate, merciless. Jake collapsed before anyone could respond. Security rushed in, cameras shook, and the room erupted into chaos. The fallout was instant. Medics stormed in while fans outside pushed to see what was happening. Jake was taken straight to the hospital, where doctors revealed he had a concussion and a broken jaw. So what did Jake say from his hospital bed? He didn't back down. He claimed Tank made a huge mistake hitting him outside the ring, because now the world will witness him settle it inside the ring.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
is there a height limit in boxing?
He taunted Tank for avoiding real fighters like Shakur and Roach and vowed to expose him. And in true Jake fashion, he spun the moment into motivation, casting himself as the underdog warrior ready to face Tank at any weight, anytime, anywhere.
I'm fighting Gervonta Davis on
wow.
Netflix.
Let's go.
People think that he could actually beat me, and people think he could outbox me, and he's so powerful and this and that. That's what makes it a good fight. November 14th, Netflix.
To fully grasp why this moment is so intense, we need to look back, because Gervonta Davis already had unfinished business that makes his clash with Jake even more controversial.
Who were you going to call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
And Jake Paul?
Next question.
Before Tank ever considered entering Jake Paul's circus, one name still lingered over him. Lamont Roach. Their first fight wasn't meant to be close. Tank, known as the knockout machine, was expected to dominate Roach. Instead, Roach pushed him to the limit and gave him the toughest fight of his career.
Oh, nice double left hook by Roach to the body and then to the head. Right there it is. Oof. And, oh, Davis just got backed up with a counter right from Roach.
That's a big moment in
with the left. Oh, doing that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leading with right.
He took a knee.
He took a knee. What is he doing?
He forgot his...
Nice
wow.
combination from Roach. Oh, another right hand, another right left by Roach. Nice combination. Got just over around 11 as well.
Maybe him getting clocked.
Davis fighting on even terms here in the 11th. Both of them have landed.
Has to keep doing that. Roach said the familiarity, knows his weaknesses. It's one thing to say it.
The decision is a majority draw.
When the final bell sounded, many fans believed Tank was fortunate to walk away with the win. That showing put a dent in Tank's aura of invincibility. Suddenly, the fighter who once scared entire divisions didn't seem untouchable anymore.
Yes, I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He seemed a little distracted in the fight.
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids, and I had the same thing. I went through the same shit. When I fought Andre, that shit was burning my eyes, so I cut that off.
And here's the twist. Roach had a rematch clause in place. He knew that if he pushed Tank to the limit, the call for a second fight would be huge. And he was right. The boxing world demanded answers. Was Roach the man who exposed Tank? Could Tank bounce back and prove the first fight wasn't a fluke?
I already signed. My first contract is signed for an immediate rematch in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him. I hope we can get it done because I want to show the world again that that wasn't a...
But instead of settling things, the rematch collapsed. Roach was sidelined, frustrated, and openly accused Tank of ducking him. In that gap, Tank shifted gears. He walked away from Roach and signed on to fight Jake Paul.
I gotta ask you, how real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta.
For Roach, that was the ultimate insult. For fans, it seemed like Tank was running from redemption and chasing money instead. That's the cloud hanging over this entire Jake Paul fight. Tank still hasn't dealt with the Roach question. Now, let's be honest. Jake Paul didn't enter negotiations like a normal opponent. He brought demands that were extreme. Jake insisted the fight happen at 195 pounds. Keep in mind, Tank fights at 135. That's a 6-division leap. To put it simply, it's like asking a welterweight lion to battle a cruiserweight hippo and calling it even.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over.
No headgear, no shortcuts, pure knockouts on the line. This isn't boxing tradition. It's essentially a sanctioned street fight. And Jake is counting on his size. While Tank is deadly at lightweight, he has never shown himself at anything near 195.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You could knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you are saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
This is where fans became completely divided. Some argued Tank was crazy for accepting. Others claimed Jake was using his size as cover. But one thing is certain, The weight factor alone makes this fight unlike anything boxing has witnessed in years.
Thoughts on Jake versus Tank?
This is just a money grab. Tank is in the news for bashing his missus. He obviously needs the money, and Jake Paul is the money fight in boxing.
How the hell do you go from potentially fighting a heavyweight in Anthony Joshua to now going all the way down and facing Tank Davis? That's a major weight drop. It's an exhibition, so it's not a real fight.
No, so apparently it's going to be a hybrid, which just means it's bullshit. But Netflix are in the entertainment industry. We all paid to see Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson at 60 years old fighting an old man in a walker. Now you're going to see Jake Paul fight Tank Davis, and I'm going to be honest with you, Jake Paul should be the favorite. He's got the weight advantage.
Size advantage.
He's got the size advantage.
Reach.
Say what you want, it's going to be an entertaining fight.
I mean, this is a real boxer. People are asking, fight a real boxer. This is one of the best boxers in the world. But the fact that it's an exhibition, it just takes away from it.
And here's the truth no one wants to say. Tank Davis is no longer the fighter he once was. In his prime, stepping into the ring with Tank felt like stepping into a nightmare. His presence alone shook opponents before the opening bell. One slip and it was lights out. But that fear is fading. Fans see Tank's drive for legacy slipping away, replaced by a chase for paydays. Instead of facing the best, like Shakur Stevenson or giving Roach a rematch, Tank is choosing fights that create headlines, not history.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done. Tank is done.
When you say done, you mean like not fighting anymore?
Tank is checked out mentally. Tank is gone mentally. Tank looking for the big bag, of Jake Paul, Pacquiao, something sort, and he's looking to, hey, I'll see you later. Tank is standing. He's not gonna fight Shakur Stevenson at all. At all. I don't care how much money Turkey offered, give him 4 Lamborghinis, whatever. Tank ain't taking that fight.
Even his body language tells a different story. The killer instinct that once defined him no longer looks as sharp. Critics argue he's more focused on Instagram posts and millionaire moves than proving he's still the sports boogeyman.
Gervonta Davis's guarantee.
I call bullshit.
Me too.
I call bullshit.
$200 million is a lot of money.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
I mean, it's Netflix.
Okay. Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
Yeah. 20 million, I would believe, not 200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model. So, and Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, especially on Showtime, he's a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist.
Mm-hmm.
200 mil is just completely false.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah, man.
I mean, so much bigger.
I don't get it. If he thinks this is going to make him legitimate in boxing, I just don't get why he do it.
And that's why the Jake Paul punch is so symbolic. It's not just another brawl. It's a reminder that Tank is putting himself in situations where the risk is high and the reward isn't legacy, it's clout.
It would just be sad that if Tank Davis' boxing career, real boxing career, championship is over because, of the Jake Paul fight. It would be sad for boxing. I don't know for that to be the case. But if he make, in excess of 30, 40 million.
They reported $40 million.
I don't know I don't know what he does after that. Does he come back to boxing and defend those titles? I don't know, bro. So I don't know if could this be the last time we see Tank Davis in a real championship fight? Was Lamont Roach the last fight we see of him like that? I don't know. But if it is, that would be a tough pill to swallow for boxing fans.
Here's the big picture. If Jake Paul somehow defeats Gervonta Davis, the boxing world turns upside down. A YouTuber turned boxer would have officially dethroned one of the sport's most feared names, leaving Tank's credibility in pieces.
Gervonta Davis's guarantee.
I call bullshit.
Jake Paul.
Me too.
I call bullshit.
$200 million is a lot of money.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
I mean, it's Netflix.
Okay. Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
Yeah. 20 million, I would believe, not 200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model. So, and Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, you know, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he was a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist. 200 mil is just completely false.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah, man.
I mean, so much bigger.
I don't get it. If he thinks this is going to make him legitimate in boxing, I just don't get why he do it.
But if Tank wins, what does he truly gain? Critics will argue he only beat a YouTuber much larger than him, not a real contender in his division. That's the dilemma. The fight brings huge attention, but it does nothing to repair the cracks in Tank's legacy.
He should beat Jake Paul, shouldn't he?
No, he shouldn't.
You don't think? Sorry. So, I thought we were all unanimous here. Do you think that Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis?
70 pounds is 70 pounds.
Gervonta Davis is very small. 5'5".
He's tiny, bro.
5'5".
That's
You
what I'm
got
saying.
Jake Paul
He's a little
6'1".
man.
If Jake Paul's tucking up,
move on,
and absorbing punishment for walking forward, then look, there's a way to run it.
As soon as news of Tank's punch and Jake's hospital remarks spread online, the boxing world erupted. While many fans were seriously worried about the weight gap.
All of a sudden, we want to know who will win in this fight, Jake Paul or Tank Davis. It's a legit question, and I actually want to really hear your thoughts on who do you think is going to win, because I know what Vegas is saying, but I want to know what you think. You got
personally, I think Tank too little, bro.
Yo,
I think Tank too little.
I'm so glad you have a brain on your fucking shoulder.
I think Tank too little.
I said, bro.
I think Tank too little. That's what I'm saying. That weight class is for a reason.
Davis
that weight class is for a reason.
5'5", 135 pounds. Jake Paul is 6 feet, 205 pounds.
That's what I'm saying. He's
6'1", 205. Everybody's like, yeah, bro, but Tank it only takes one good punch. Yes, it takes one good punch when you're about the same size. There's a 60, 70 pound difference in weight in these people. I don't think nobody puts the physics in mind. Jake Paul gets punched in the face by dudes 200 pounds with all their might on a weekly basis. 135 pound puncher, bro. If y'all remember the Mayweather versus Conor McGregor fight, Conor walks around like 180 on the regular. He's like 5'9", 180. Mayweather's like 5'7", 145. That 30 pound difference, bro. If you remember that fight, Mayweather was putting mittens on Conor. Guess what happened to Conor? He didn't hit the ground once. No. He lasted all 12 rounds getting hit with flurries. I'm talking about Mayweather was having his time. He's being cocky with it, hitting him with all kind of combos. And we're watching the last 3 rounds of that shit like, yo, knock him out. And you know what? He could not knock him out because Conor gets punched by people that are 170, 180 pounds on a regular. And just that 20, 30 pound difference, it was like impossible for him to do anything. And that's exactly what I feel like is going to happen versus Jake and Tank.
Shakur Stevenson didn't hold back. He called the whole situation a circus, saying Tank picking Jake Paul over him proves he's avoiding real challenges. For Shakur, it was personal. He's been chasing Tank for years, and now Tank is wasting time clowning around with Jake.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money. But from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me. And if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Rolly Romero took the opposite view. He said, let Tank secure his money. Boxing is a business, and if Jake brings the payday, why criticize it?
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong?
Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
Teofimo Lopez congratulated both fighters, praising the scale of the event. From his perspective, if fans are paying, then it's worth it. Meanwhile, voices outside boxing like Daniel Cormier backed Jake, reminding people he has been training seriously, has the size advantage, and isn't the amateur many assume.
Jake Paul, who I believe
and I have told you guys this time and time again, he's much better than people give him credit for. One, Jake Paul is not an amateur fighter, like some try to say. Jake Paul has money, so Jake Paul is getting trained by the best boxing coaches that money can buy. He's full-time boxing. There are a lot of people that say he may do some other stuff. I don't know who he was going to fight that was saying that he was juiced up and he was ignoring him. Or was it Logan Paul? One of them. But at the end of the day, this kid's training to be the best fighter in the world, or the best as he can be, and he understands what losing would do to the perception of who he is in fighting. We were yelling so much about him fighting someone, fight somebody your size.
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next uploads. And don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.